Today, let's continue the reading with center-state relationships. First question. The first Finance Commission was constituted in 1921. Which agency acts as coordinator between Union Government Planning Commission and state governments? National Development Council. When will demand become a grant? After the demand is granted. The Finance Commission adjudicates on the sharing of resources between the center and the state. The President of India, by order, constitutes a Finance Commission every fifth year or earlier as necessary. The entry of public health and sanitation is included in the Constitution of India in state list. Which of the following is or are the functions of the Finance Commission of India? Distribution of the taxes which are divisible between the Union and the states, and to recommend the principles which should govern the grant in aid of the revenues of the states out of the Consolidated Fund of India. Both are the functions of the Finance Commission of India. In which one of the following does the subject of cooperative societies fall? In the state list. Who is the chairman of the Second Administrative Reforms Commission? M. Veerappa Moily. What is the period covered by the recommendation of the 12th Finance Commission, which is between year 2005 to 10? Financial distribution between the Union and the states takes place on the basis of the recommendations of which one of the following? Finance Commission. With reference to the Constitution of India, which one of the following pairs is not correctly matched? Stock exchange. This is not state list. Mention the comments that under which list is the stock exchange comes. Forest concurrent list true, insurance union list true, marriage and divorce concurrent list true. Recommendations to the President of India on the specific union-state fiscal relationships are made by the Finance Commission. Who is the chairman of the 12th Finance Commission? Dr. C. Rangarajan. What is the number of the current Finance Commission? Who is the chairman of the current Finance Commission? Mention his name in the comments. Which of the following subjects lies in the concurrent list? Education. Fiscal deficit is sum of budget deficit and government's market borrowings and liabilities. Which one of the following forms the largest share of deficit in Government of India budget? Fiscal deficit. For distribution of powers between the Union and the states, the Constitution of India introduces three lists. Which two of the following articles govern the distribution of powers? Article 245 and 246. Which one of the following taxes is levied and collected by the Union but distributed between Union and states? Tax on income other than on agricultural income. The largest item of expenditure in the current account of the central government budget is interest payments. 13th Finance Commission has been constituted under the chairmanship of Vijay L. Kelkar. The recommendations of the Sarkaria Commission relate to center-state relations. The recommendations of the Kelkar Task Force relate to taxes. The Indian Parliament cannot legislate on a subject of state list unless the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution that it is necessary to do so in national interest. There is a national emergency. Which one of the following is the subject of concurrent list? Criminal matters, police, radio and television, and foreign affairs. These three comes under which list? Mention those in the comments. The Finance Commission is primarily concerned with recommending to the President about the principle governing guarantee aid to be given to the states, distributing the net proceeds of the taxes between the center and the states. Both are right. Which one of the following expenditures is not charged on the Consolidated Fund of India? Salary and allowances of the Vice President of India. Mention that salary and allowances of the Vice President of India is charged under which fund? Mention that in the comment. The distribution of Finances between center and states is done on the recommendation of Finance Commission. Matching list 1 is Finance Commission, list 2 is the chairman. Ninth Finance Commission NPK Salve, 10th Finance Commission KC Pant, 11th Finance Commission AM Kusro, and 12th Finance Commission C Rangarajan. Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act was enacted in the year 2003. Which one of the following is not included in the state list in the Constitution of India? Criminal Procedure Code. This comes under which list? Mention it in the comments. About remaining three, police, law and order, and prison, these three are included in the state list. Marriage, divorce, and adoption are an entry in the seventh schedule of the Constitution under the following list 3 concurrent list. Center-state relations in India are dependent upon constitutional provisions, conventions and practices, judicial interpretations, mechanics for dialogue. The Union Parliament can also legislate on a subject of state list to give effect to international agreement with the consent of the state concerned during President's rule in the state in the national interest when Rajya Sabha passes a resolution to this effect by the 2/3 majority. Mention the comment that what is the difference between the simple majority and the special majority in the parliament. Article 249 of the Indian Constitution deals with legislative powers of the parliament with respect to a matter in the state list. States in Indian Union will receive at last what part of the following percentage of central tax under 13th Finance Commission recommendations? 32%. Consider the following statements with regard to the Planning Commission and Finance Commission and state which of these statements is not correct. Recommendations given by both are binding on the government. No, this is not the correct option. Other three are the correct options. The Finance Ministry has introduced the concept of outcome budget from 2005. Under this, the monitoring of the outcomes will be the responsibility of Planning Commission. Which of the following is an extra constitutional body? Planning Commission. When was the Planning Commission abolished or banned, and what is the commission that has come in the place of Planning Commission? Mention it in the comments. Which was the wealth tax first? Sorry, when was the wealth tax first introduced in India? In 1957. Under which article of the Constitution of India can the Indian Parliament make laws under the residuary powers? Article 248. The Finance Commission is constituted under Article 280 of the Constitution of India. Fiscal policy refers to related to revenue and expenditure policy of the government. Finance Commission is a constitutional body appointed by the President every 5 years to review center-state financial relationship. Planning Commission is a non-statutory body. For which purpose is the Finance Commission appointed? To make recommendation for devolution of non-planned revenue resources. The Deputy Chairman of Planning Commission holds the rank of the Cabinet Minister. In which list does the Union Government enjoy exclusive powers? In Union List. Planning Commission was established in 1950 through an executive order. The primary function of the Finance Commission in India is to distribution of revenue between the central and the state. 5-year plan in India is finally approved by National Development Council. Which one of the following authorities recommends the principles governing the grants in aid of the revenues to the states out of the Consolidated Fund of India? Finance Commission. Consider the following statements. The function of the Finance Commission is to allow the withdrawal of the money out of the Consolidated Fund of India, to allocate between the states the shares of proceeds of the tax. This is true, this is true. to consider the application for grants and aids from states now to supervise and report on whether the union and state governments are levying taxes in accordance with the budgetary provisions. This is also right. First, second, and fourth are the right options. With reference to the Constitution of India, which one of the following pairs are not correctly matched? Stock exchange. This does not come under the concurrent list. Under which list is the stock exchange comes? Mention it in the comments. Remaining three are the right ones. Which one of the following articles of the Constitution of India says that the executive power of every state shall be so exercised as not to impede or prejudice the exercise of the executive power of the Union? Article 257. Which one of the following subjects is under the Union list in the seventh schedule of the Constitution of India? Regulation of labour and safety in mines and oil fields. The authorization of the withdrawal of funds from the Consolidated Fund of India must come from the Parliament of India. All revenues received by the Union government by way of taxes and other receipts for the conduct of government business are credited to the Consolidated Fund of India. When the annual Union budget is not passed by the Lok Sabha, the Prime Minister submits the resignation of Council of Ministers. Which one of the following statements appropriately describes the fiscal stimulus? It is an intense affirmative action of the government to boost economic activity in the country. Which of the following are the methods of parliamentary control over public finance in India? Placing annual financial statement before Parliament. True. Withdrawal of monies from Consolidated Fund of India only after passing the appropriation bill. This is also true. Provisions of supplementary grants and vote on account. This is also true. And a periodic or at least a mid-year review of program of the government against macroeconomic forecast and expenditure by a Parliament Budgetary Office. Now, introducing finance bill in the Parliament. This is true. Mention in the comment that finance bill is introduced in which months of the parliamentary session. Mention that in the comment. Next chapter is Public Service Commission, which is not a central service, Indian Police Service. The annual report of the UPSC is submitted to the President. Which of the following has the powers to create a new All India service? Parliament. Consider the following statements. The number of the members of UPSC is determined by the President of India. True. The UPSC was constituted under the provisions in the Constitution of India. This is also true. Who appoints the UPSC? President. Which one of the following is not an All India service? Indian Police Service, Indian Economic Service. One second. All India Service, Indian Economic Service. By which act was the Public Service Commission established for the first time in India? Government of India Act 1919. The expenses of the Public Service Commission of a state are charged upon Consolidated Fund of State. Which of the following is correct about UPSC of India? It has nothing to do with State Public Service Commission. Next chapter is Election Commission. When was the mandate that a candidate at an election should file with his nomination papers an affidavit recording his criminal antecedents, if any, enforced at a general election for the first time? Assembly elections held in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, or Delhi in December 2003. When was the mandate that a candidate at an election should file that his nomination papers and affidavit recording the particulars of the spouse and the dependents enforced at a general election for the first time? At assembly elections held in Himachal Pradesh in 2003. A national political party is one which receives 4% of the total votes polled in four or more states. What is the minimum age prescribed in India for its citizens to cast their vote? 18 years. When under which constitutional amendment act was the age of the voting person is reduced from 21 years to 18 years? Mention that Constitution Amendment Act in the comments. Who among the following is a non-resident Indian? A person of Indian origin working as a computer engineer in America. Age of a candidate to contest parliamentary election should not be less than 25 years. Matching the list 1 and the list 2. President elected by an electoral college. Vice President elected by the members of the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Speaker elected by the members of the Lok Sabha. Member of Parliament elected by adult voting. Mention in the comment that is the Speaker member of the Lok Sabha and is the Vice President also is member of the Rajya Sabha. Are these two are the members of the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha? Mention that in the comments. To be a regional party, the minimum percentage of votes that a party needs to secure in an election is 4%. The election disputes regarding the election of the president and vice president can be heard by Supreme Court. The constitutional amendment by which the age for voting has been revised from 21 years to 18 years is 61st Amendment Act. This is what I asked previously. The right to vote in India is given to all people on the basis of age. Which among the following is not a part of the electoral reforms? The appointment of the election commissioner. If an election to the state legislative assembly, the candidate who is declared elected loses his deposit, it means that a very large number of candidates contested the election. Nowadays, the Election Commission of India uses EVM during the general election in the country. What is the full form of EVM? Electronic Voting Machine. NRI Day is observed on which of the following days? 9th January. What is the reason that we are celebrating this NRI Day? What is the main reason for the 9th January, this particular day? Research it and mention it in the comments. Area wise, which one of the following is the largest Lok Sabha constituency? Ladakh. To be recognized as a national party, a political party must be recognized party in at least 4 states. The first general election in India on the basis of adult suffrage was held during the year 1951 to 52. In India, the Chief Election Commissioner can be removed from his office in the same manner as on the same grounds as a judge of the Supreme Court. With reference to India, consider the following electoral systems. System of direct election on the basis of adult suffrage, true. System of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, this is also true. List system of proportional representation, no. Cumulative system of indirect representation, no. These two are wrong. Which one of the following statements is not correct? In case of difference of opinion amongst the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioner, the matter is decided by the Law Commission. This is false. These three are the correct options. Let's read them. The Election Commission cannot be removed from their office except on recommendations by the Chief Election Commissioner. True. The Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioners enjoys equal powers. This is also true. The term of the office of the Election Commissioner is 6 years from the date he assumes office to till the day he attains the age of the 65 years, whichever is earlier. True. In the panel of Election Commissioners, Election Commission of India, how many are the commissioners, election commissioners are there in this panel? Mention those numbers in the comments and who are those? Mention their names also in the comments. Who accords recognition to various political parties in India as national or regional parties? The Election Commission. Which of the following has banned floor crossing by the members elected on a party ticket to the legislature? 52nd Constitution Amendment Act. The functions of the Election Commission of India are To conduct all the elections of the parliament and to state legislature. True. To conduct elections to the office of the president and the vice president. True. To recommend imposition of president's rule in a state where conditions are not conducive to holding of free and fair elections. No, false. The superintendent's direction and control of preparation of electoral rules. This is also true. The 84th Amendment Act has frozen the total number of existing seats in the Lok Sabha on the basis of 1971 census. They shall remain unaltered till the first census to be taken after the year 2026. Assertion and reason. Powers for conducting elections to the parliament and state legislature in a free and fair manner have been given to the independent body, that is, the election commissioner. True. Powers of removal of election commissioners is with the executive. This is also true, but this is not the correct reason for assertion. Who conducts the state assembly elections? Election Commission of India. Which one of the following constitutional amendments introduced the anti-defection provision in the Constitution for the first time? 52nd Amendment Act. The Election Commission was converted into three members commission in the following year, 1990. Before this is converted as the three-member commission, how many number of members are there in the commission? Mention that in the comments. If a member of parliament becomes disqualified for membership, the decision of his removal is taken by the president in accordance with the opinion of the election commission. When was the Anti-Defection Act was passed? On February 15th, 1985. Which one of the following functions is not related to the election commission? To make provision with respect to elections of the legislatures? No. Other three are the right options. Direction and control of the preparation of the electoral rolls. True. Conduct of all elections to the parliament and legislatures of each state. This is also true. To conduct the election of the offices of president and vice president. This is also true. Election to the office of the president is conducted by the Election Commission of India. The first general election in India was held in 1951. To be recognized as a national party, it must secure at least 4% of the valid votes in four or more states. Consider the following statements with reference to India. The Chief Election Commissioner is entitled to the same salary as provided to a judge of the Supreme Court. This is true, and the Chief Election Commissioner shall not be removed from his office except in like manner and on like grounds as a judge of the Supreme Court. This is also true. Which among the following countries was the earliest to give women the right to vote? New Zealand. Consider the following tasks. Which of these are the functions of the Election Commission of India? Superintendent's direction conduct of free and fair elections. True. This is the function. Preparation of electoral rolls for all elections, the parliament, state legislature, and the office of the president and vice president. This is also right. Giving recognition to political parties and allotting election symbols to political parties and individuals contesting the election. This is also true. Proclamation of final verdict in the center of the election disputes. No, this is false. They won't give the final verdict. Which one among the following commission was set up in pursuance of a definitive provision under an article of the Constitution of India? Election Commission. With reference to the Delimitation Commission, consider the following statements. The orders of the Delimitation Commission cannot be challenged in a court of law. True. When the orders of the Delimitation Commission are laid before the Lok Sabha or State Legislative Assembly, they cannot affect any modifications in the orders. These both are the true. Correct statements. These two are the correct statements of the Delimitation Commission. Next is the official language. English is the official language of which one of the following Indian states? Nagaland. The provisions related to official language of India can be amended by simple majority. Andhra Pradesh was created as a linguistic state in 1953. The first Indian state which was created on a linguistic basis following a long drawn agitation is Andhra Pradesh. From which state is Andhra Pradesh bifurcated in 1953 and became the first state. Mention that previous state name in the comments. Which article of the Constitution provides that it shall be the endeavor of every state to provide adequate facilities for instruction in the mother tongue at the primary stage of education? Article 350A. We will continue with the emergency provisions in the next reading or in the next video. Let's stop over here. Thank you. If you like the video, subscribe to my channel.